Still Crazy After All These Beers is brought to you by our friends at Chilled Nightlife and Entertainment Magazine. Eat, drink, and be merry at chilledmagazine.com. And by Porta Pong, the world's #1 best-selling inflatable floating beer pong table at portapong.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the 2009 Atlantic City Beer Festival. Look at what's going on around us. We're up here in the Skybox talking about, oh my gosh, 15 to 20,000 people here. This is session 1. I'm going to say there's probably at least 3,000 or 4,000 people already. Beers from all over the world. This is the biggest festival that I've ever attended, and it's shaping up to be one of the biggest in the United States. Tremendous foods. I'm seeing some brand new beers coming out, some seasonals, and also some experimental beers. We're going to check into them and have some real fun today on Still Crazy After All These Beers. The Atlantic City Beer Fest 2009. Holy cow, we're looking at this one session, Nate Scudieri from Michelob, and about 5,000 or 6,000 people. You believe this?
This is unbelievable. I can't believe it. I mean, I didn't expect that this was going to be as big as it is. This is such a huge win for the beer industry. This is great. It's so exciting to be a part of this for everybody and everything that you, Gary, and your team are doing for beer. We thank you for that overall. And I'll tell you, we're excited to be here. We've got some great beers to sample here today at the Michelob Brewing Company booth. We have 6 beers that you can buy today in your local liquor store, grocery store, beer store, as well as bars and restaurants. But we also brought 2 beers that you can't buy anywhere that we're sampling here today. One is a rye PA, 99 IBUs, 9.5% ABV. Outstanding beer we're sampling today, trying to get some feedback from consumers. The other beer is a pear beer that we made back in St. Louis. We've never sampled it anywhere outside of the confines of the Michelob Brewing Company. But we brought it here today, and we've already run out, Gary. I don't know what to do. We got people asking for it, but it's gone. So, but it's a good thing we got 7 other beers here.
Well, so would you use a show like this to gauge the public response to an experimental beer? Is that the primary focus of it?
You know, I would say that's not the primary focus, but it sure is a great opportunity to come out and gauge consumer response. When you got somebody coming up saying, boy, I love your pear beer, or boy, I love your Tomahawk, when are you going to come out with that? For us, that's a very positive indicator, obviously, that we can go back and maybe study that a little harder and tweak the recipe and make sure it's ready to go to full market. You know, maybe something we test in a certain market before we take it year round, but absolutely, this is a collection of our target market from a marketing perspective. People who love beer. You know, they could drink anything they want, you know, but they're drinking beer. Even in this down economy right now, beer is that affordable luxury, that item that people, you know what, you're cutting back on one thing or another, but you're not cutting back on your beer. People who love beer drinkers are serious about their beer, and they don't want to give up their favorite beers. And again, this type of consumer, they're not loyal to any one particular brand of beer. They just like trying all the new different beer styles that all these great brewers from across our great country are bringing to festivals like this festival, you know, and other festivals from coast to coast.
I got to tell you, Anheuser-Busch and Michelob in general have really moved to the forefront of this. I see a freshness and attitude among you guys. The products you're putting out are phenomenal. Obviously, you're doing a lot right. And now I'm looking at this kind of spin-off craft lineup of beers, and I've had some of them, and I got to tell you, I like them.
Thank you for saying that. We appreciate any compliment we can get, but it further validates what we're doing is the right thing. And, you know, it's not like we sit back and in a boardroom somewhere and come up with this kind of an idea. The consumer led us here. You know, these consumers who are here, who again are out there looking for new beer styles and new ingredients in beers and things, and it gave us the opportunity to put forth, a great little lineup of beers. So, it's what we do best as a big brewery, and it's like, hey, we make some great beers. We believe we've got some of the best brewmasters who have access to, the best ingredients and different resources. They can experiment at the Michelob Brewing Company. They have the freedom to experiment with new beer styles and different ingredients and do some things, that may be non-traditional in the beer industry. And again, consumer response has been hugely positive to everything we're doing with Michelob Brewing Company, and we couldn't be more excited about it.
How do you determine, there's so many beer events taking place around the country, how do you determine what to be a part of? I mean, you can't be in every beer festival, and so you kind of have to pick and choose. So I guess what I'm saying is, how did Atlantic City come to the forefront?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we look at a list of the big beer festivals across the country, and the ones that are the largest, most prestigious beer festivals, where we can, again, get our beers to the most targeted, specific group of consumer that we can. And when you look at these growing beer festivals, we're not surprised that Atlantic City is one of them. The Celebration of the Suds, has nationwide recognition now, and only its third year, right? Fourth year. It's unbelievable what they've done, what this team has done with this festival, and we had to be here. We knew this was a must attend, if you will. And we'll be attending the top 10 largest, most prestigious beer festivals in the country this year with our team from St. Louis. But then we also ask our local distributors to get out on the local level and attend as many of those local festivals as we can, because we know it's not just about those top 10 or 15 festivals. There's hundreds and hundreds of local beer festivals. Maybe there's 50 people that go to one in some small market in the Midwest, but there may be a couple of hundred, in the neighboring town, and then a couple of thousand a couple miles further. So, beer festivals are popping up everywhere. Look at the popularity of beer. Liquor's down, right? Wine is down. Beer is up. Why is that? Because look at the styles and the range, the variety that beer offers. And beer is fun. Beer is interesting. Beer is approachable. And again, it's affordable. And again, now more than ever in this economy, it's that affordable luxury. So
I want to ask you about this beer I'm drinking. This is an organic beer.
Yeah, this is our organic beer. You can buy this anywhere across the country. It's called Stone Mill Pale Ale. It's made with 100% organic ingredients, so organic hops, organic barley malt, and it's made at our organically certified brewery in Merrimack, New Hampshire. So here we are in the East Coast, and just a few hours north, several hours north, is where this beer is made. And it's trucked all across the country so different consumers across the country can experiment with this. People have tried pale ales. Everybody's tried pale ale. But have you tried an organic pale ale? And here's one of them right here. It's an outstanding pale ale. What do you think? Do you like it?
I do like it. I've had it before, and it tastes really fresh again today. I do like it. And it's curious because when I do events or talk to people about beer, many times I'm getting the question, where can I get a good organic beer?
Yeah, there's not many organic beers. There are several from very recognized breweries from across the country that make them, and we said, hey, again, the consumer led us here. Consumers who are that organic shopper, maybe they shop at Whole Foods or they shop at one of these places where they specialize in organic foods, and this is a place where even if you're not here at the beer festival and you want to buy organic for your family or for your friends or whatever it is, here's a nice place. Again, the consumer led us to this beer. We didn't just concept this beer and create it. The consumer brought us there. So
we got an interesting show coming up next week. We're going to talk with one of your brewers about some of the products, as you mentioned, the experimental beers and some of the new things that are coming out in your lineup. Exciting,
yeah. These guys, they do it better than anybody in the business, and I'm excited to watch the show. And I know that all your audience out there, will be excited to see everything that he talks about. So
thanks for spending some time with us this week on Still Crazy After All These Beers. We appreciate your effort.
Absolutely. We're so excited to be here with you and everybody here. So thanks again. Happy Beer Fest.
That's it. And we'll see you next week on Still Crazy After All These Beers.